All right, let's dive into a story. A story so twisted, so full of betrayal, it's almost impossible to believe. We're talking about a chilling first-person account of identity, secrets buried so deep in a family, and a quest for revenge that spirals into just absolute darkness.
And it all kicks off with this promise, this vow of revenge. It comes from a woman named Ava. And you need to understand, she's on the verge of discovering that her entire life, her family, the face she sees in the mirror every single day was all a carefully constructed lie. And believe me, she's ready to burn it all down.
So where does a story like this begin? Well, it starts exactly where you'd expect a nightmare to start, in the dead of night. It's 2 a.m., the phone rings. It's the police. And the news they deliver just shatters Ava's entire world. Her twin sister, Isabella, she's dead. A car accident, just a horrible tragedy.
You see, Ava and Isabella, everyone thought they were two halves of the same soul. Ava, she was the brilliant one, the meticulous one, the one who took their family inheritance and built it into this massive $50 million tech empire. And then there was Isabella, her mirror image, the wild one, the thrill seeker. They were identical, and they were supposed to split that fortune, 50-50.
And through all this initial shock and grief, Ava's husband, Marcus, he's right there by her side. He's a rock. But there's something off. At the funeral, the casket, it's closed. They say her body was too damaged to be seen. And at the time, it just seems like another awful detail in this straightforward, horrific tragedy. But then, in the weeks that follow, things start to feel wrong. The edges of that simple tragedy begin to fray. Ava's grief, it starts to change. It's turning into this terrifying, creeping suspicion that something is deeply, deeply wrong, like she's not alone in her house, or maybe not even in her own head. It starts small, you know? A piece of jewelry goes missing. An email shows up that she knows she never sent, but then it escalates fast. Bank alerts start popping up for huge withdrawals, and then $10 million just vanishes. Vanishes from their joint accounts. The police, they just shrug and say, oh, it's a sophisticated hack. But Ava knows better. This feels personal. It feels like someone is trying to erase her, piece by piece.
So one night, pushed by this awful dread, she does something. She starts searching Isabella's room. And that's when she finds it, hidden away, a safe. And what's inside? Well, it doesn't just give her answers. Oh no. It completely detonates her entire life. Inside, there are forged IDs, fake passports, but that's not even the worst part. Not by a long shot. There are photos. Photos of her husband, Marcus, kissing her sister, and they're recent. The timestamp on them, it's from after Isabella was supposedly dead. And it gets worse. Deeper in the safe, she finds medical records, and they reveal the lie that her entire life was built on. Isabella wasn't her twin. She was never her twin. She was her half-sister, the result of their father's affair, adopted and passed off as a twin just to cover up the scandal. And the most sickening part? Isabella knew. She had known for years, and she let that secret fester into this monstrous plan.
And just like that, everything changes. The grief is gone. In its place, just a cold, clear rage. Ava realizes she wasn't a victim. She was a target. She wasn't being haunted. She was being hunted. And in that moment, she decides she's going to become the hunter.
So what was their plan? Oh, it was chillingly simple. Step 1. Fake Isabella's death using a body double. Step 2. Siphon off all $50 million. Step 3. Murder Ava and make it look like a suicide. And the final, twisted step? Isabella returns, maybe with a new look, to claim the entire fortune as Ava, the sole survivor.
Ava knew she couldn't go to the police. They'd already written her off. So she makes a decision, a cold, calculated one. She decides to play their game. She fakes a complete mental breakdown, checks herself into a clinic, and just like that, she disappears. She goes completely dark, all while secretly plotting her revenge. For the next 6 months, Ava transforms herself. She hires hackers to find Marcus and Isabella, tracing them to a villa in Switzerland. She trains, self-defense, forgery, you name it. Then, she gets close. She infiltrates their new life using a disguise, slowly seducing secrets out of them, recording every single confession, every boast about how they pulled off the perfect crime. And now we get to the final confrontation.
Ava sets the trap. She lures them to an abandoned quarry with a promise of more money, just as a storm is rolling in. The stage is set for a reckoning. And when Ava finally steps out of the shadows and reveals who she is, you can just imagine the look on Isabella's face. Total shock. "How?" she screams. "You're supposed to be broken." They thought they were dealing with a ghost, a victim. They had no idea they were facing a predator who is now completely in control.
And that's when they hear it. The wail of police sirens in the distance. Called by Ava, of course. And instantly, that bond between them just shatters. Isabella panics and immediately points the finger at Marcus, screaming it was all his idea.
But then, something happens that nobody, not even Ava, saw coming. Marcus knows the game is up. He pulls out a gun. But he doesn't aim it at Ava. He turns to Isabella. He looks his lover, his partner, right in the eye and says, "If we can't have it, no one will." And he fires.
The police arrive to find a crime scene. Marcus holding an empty gun. Isabella is dead. For good this time. He's arrested for murder. And Ava, she's free. It seems like the nightmare is finally over.
But it's not quite. There's one last secret, reaching out from beyond the grave. A package arrives for Ava, sent by Isabella before her death. And inside is a video, a final confession that contains a truth so twisted it changes everything all over again.
This is the final, unthinkable truth. Marcus wasn't just some random guy Isabella roped into her plan. He was their father's other secret child. He was their half-brother, which means he was also Isabella's brother. Their entire twisted plot wasn't just about greed. It was born from a secret incestuous relationship, a family curse hidden in their blood.
So what are we supposed to take away from a story like this? I mean, it's just a terrifying look at how deeply lies can be buried inside a family, right? It shows how one single secret from decades ago can grow into this monster that just poisons and destroys everything it touches, twisting love into something dark and unrecognizable. And it leaves us with one last haunting thought. The dead don't lie, but the living, we bury our own graves. So when you decide to take revenge, when you stare into that abyss and fight monsters, what new monster ends up staring back at you?